Hey guys, Reagan with Texas Defense Articulations. I'm going to talk to you guys about my Rifle Dynamics AK a little bit today. So this is a RD703. I did add the collapsible stock, so it came with a fixed stock. Had some issues with the first one. I ordered it back in like 2016, 2017, waited for a year for it. Gun would not hold zero when it got hot. It had a special battle brown color that I really do kind of miss. It would not hold zero. I went back and forth with Jim Fuller on it a little bit. He did, and Casey, they did acknowledge my concerns as being legitimate, this and the other. However, it was in the middle of, I didn't realize it at the time, it was in the middle of Jim selling the company, and we all got lost in the ether. So I kind of lost touch worrying about it or anything like that. Stuck at the back of my safe. A couple of years later, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna pull this gun out, I'm gonna do something with it, or I'm gonna trash it. Like straight up was about to cut the thing in two. It's not, I couldn't like in good conscience sell it to somebody. It was not working correctly. So I ended up contacting Casey, and if there's, and I'll just say this, like, may never see this, and I don't care about that. Casey with Rifle Dynamics is very likely one of the best customer service agents that I've ever dealt with in the firearms industry, like bar none. I think I wrote a post about it or something like that as well. It was just, it blew me. I was like, man, she just took care of everything, never acted like she was trying to get off the phone with me or anything like that. It was real good. So good job, Casey. I really do appreciate that. Anyway, moving on from that sappy stuff, I did send it back to them. They figured out it was the barrel. Must have been an internal crack or something like that. As soon as it got heated up, man, at 150 yards, I was getting 2-foot shifts. Like, it was ridiculous. So they did take care of me on that. That covered 100% warranty, whatever. They weren't even concerned about warranty. They're just like, hey, this needs to be fixed. So they fixed it. I did have some add-ons that I went ahead and paid for because they updated these gas blocks, so I had them do that. They, for free at the time, rebored out this Lantac Dragon to put on here because I was originally running the PWS hybrid brake, and it seemed to work really pretty well. Some flash, but not necessarily you know, too much or anything like that. But it was a nice little in-betweeny between a comp and a flash hider. But they were out of those, so I got me one of these. They bored it out for me, put it on there. Great. Repainted the whole thing for me, and I got it back. So a little bit about this is when I first ordered it, I got the 703. I ended up I like to play around with this thing, so I've swapped the stock out a few times with different models. Some of the folders, the little metal folder, the Magpul folder, just left the fixed stock on here. Honestly, I really like the fixed stock, but I wanted to move to a collapsible for using like ceramic armor and stuff, especially if you got some of those thick plates. You know, you might want to collapse that stock in another little bit to be able to put that thing directly underneath your dominant eye, should that be the way that you like to use it. I'm not going to get into that debate right here, but a few of the things that I did have them do is, like, of course, this first came with an Ultimac rail. Nothing against Ultimac at all. I have tried it on multiple of the AKs, and I have no love for it. So I eventually pulled it off, had to fit one of these stock gas tubes on that they actually gave me at some point during the gun being back and forth to Rifle Dynamics, but I fitted it on there kind of with a sander, like that's a loose term, fitted, and just had one of my buddies Cerakote to the closest color they could get, because this is going to get pretty beat up over the years, so not super concerned about it. So I did go with the Hogue bottom grip and the Magpul top grip. Just had one of these laying around from some other time, which I had one of those lower grips, and threw it on there, and I actually like it. It's a little, almost like a little shelf for your thumb to sit on. I really like that. And it controls the heat a lot better, and you don't have to have like asbestos gloves to shoot 5-6 mags through this thing and put your thumb on it. So originally thought the Ultimac rail was the issue that I was having with optics shifting. Turns out that wasn't the case. It took me a little bit to figure that out. I swapped to the aim point, EOTech, blah, blah, blah. I used everything that wasn't just a complete turd to try and figure out what it was, and I couldn't figure it out. So eventually it was just like iron sights, iron sights, iron sights. It was less of a shift, but oh, it shifted. So either way, I decided to pull the Ultimac rail off, went the regular gas tube. Let's see. So one of the things I did have them add on was this side rail. That didn't come on the 703s back in the day unless you asked for it. I didn't know any better to ask for it or not. Then after I decided I didn't want the Ultimac, I'd run the Texas weapon system, which I'm from Texas, I like that. Decided it wasn't for me, and I didn't want the Zenico because I don't want to go through, I don't want to add 16 pounds to the gun. It's heavy enough as it is. So I did decide to put that on there. I was trying to get one of the RS Regulate mounts because there'd been a couple of reviews that weren't all that stellar about the Midwest, but the RS Regulate was unobtainium, and these were actually pretty plentiful. So I picked one up, was like, I'll just swap it out later. I've taken it on and off half dozen times, and I'm getting first round hits at 300 yards on the same size target that I can expect this rifle to hit at 300 yards. So it's been working really well for me. I like the longer top rail so that I can actually put my magnifier behind this and actually really dial in my second zero. So one of the other things, again, I swapped out this rear stock. This is I used originally the Rifle Dynamics adapter that adapts the tube stock to it. There's a few others that I've tried a few times, and nothing really ever was like, yeah, this is great. It always seemed to add more length of pull. That was just like maybe I was saving 3/8 of an inch over the stock or the fixed stock. So here recently I found this TDI Arms adapter, and it's just a whole tube that slides right in here. And the thing I do like about it is that you can actually slide this thing all the way up and it locks in right here. So you're actually covering part of the tang with this stock that you add on. So that really helps you collapse if that's your thing. You got someone short arms that shoots a lot, blah, blah, running the thick ceramic plates, whatever you want. So I like that particular feature. One of the other things about it is, I'm not gonna pull the stock off because you can see it's pretty tight. I do really like that. There's the back of the stock is not blinded off, so you can actually stuff stuff in this tube, put the stock over it, and now it's in position, like it'll stay there. So you do have to take the stock off in order to get to it, but cleaning kit, anything like that, if that's what you want to do, that'd be a way to do it. And I just put a Magpul something, whatever stock on this, one of the little smaller stocks that I wanted to go with that actually still had the QDs on it. So overall, pretty happy with this thing as far as it goes. I gotta tell you though, if I could do this all again, most likely I would just stick with a standard AK front end. These are cool, they're quick, a little bit better, but for some reason this shorter sight radius really, it's like shooting a Glock 34 to me. I'm like, I can do better than this, right? The sight radius just isn't all that long, so I almost like feel like I have to have an optic in order to shoot this thing well at distance. It's not really the case with just about any other weapon system I use. So anyway, so a lot of cool stuff about this. Again, I really appreciate Casey with Rifle Dynamics and the guys who did the work behind the scenes that I didn't have any contact with. You guys did great on it. So there's a little bit about it.